Hello, my name is Fred today, and I'm a recovering alcoholic. I'm here to read the Daily Reflections book for July 9th, 2024. And it is called I Am an Instrument. Humbly asked him to remove our shortcomings. That's from the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 70. The subject of humility is a difficult one. Humility is not thinking less of myself than I ought to. It is acknowledging that I do certain things well. It is accepting a compliment graciously. God can only do for me what he can do through me. Humility is the result of knowing that God is the doer, not me. In the light of this awareness, how can I take pride in my accomplishments? I am an instrument, and any work I seem to be doing is being done by God through me. I ask God on a daily basis to remove my shortcomings in order that I may more freely go about my AA business of love and service. Period. The end of the reading. Hopefully this clears up some of the things I've been talking about this month. This entire reading taken as a whole, the synergy of the thing. Maybe the high points are what I'm hoping for here. To kind of clear up what I've been talking about just for the last couple of days is that God can only do for me what he can do through me. So that, let's see. Let me talk about my idea of God for a moment. It's a pretty typical one with a little bit different flavor, kind of relish on top or something, that God is real powerful. He's omnipotent. He pretty much has the strength and power or will or ability or the imagination and whatever it takes to do anything, period, just anything. What's that? That's something. That something is part of anything. Just anything. Something is part of just anything. So, but, okay, wait a minute now. I don't know how to make this clear, so we'll just keep stumbling along here for a minute or two. If he can do anything, then that means that he can make us do stuff that, or whatever, and how can we ever get in God's way if he can do anything, and all those kinds of statements, they have some kind of validity. So not only is humility a difficult difficult subject, trying to talk about God's a pretty difficult one too, okay? So, but if what God doesn't do or what God can't do, it's not a can't, it's a won't. What God will not do is force us or really anything into submission. And then you can look at that and go, well, what about terrible storms and diseases and things, and that forces people? Yes, right, I agree. I'm trying to make I guess it's all going to end up in philosophy anyway, so the philosophical point is that this statement, God can only do for me what he can do through me. Okay, so another couple of things. God isn't the same substance that we are. And then that's going to sound goofy because we're supposed to be part of God or whatever. So it's just all twisted up. the state that we're in. We're on a physical realm, dimension maybe, and God is in a spiritual realm, dimension. So let me try and paint it in this way. If I ask God for something, like to remove my difficulties or whatever, this here, humbly ask Him to remove our shortcomings. Well, first of all, I'm crossing from a physical realm somehow in my mind. I get it into a spiritual thing, and I pray to have my shortcomings removed. Okay? Now, that's done instantly, let's say. It's done, and now I come back to my senses or whatever, or I stop praying, or now I'm just back into the regular drift of things on the physical realm. You know, I'm punching the time clock, I'm at work, I'm doing my thing or whatever, and doing all that, you know, and I'm punching out, and I'm going drinking maybe, or, you know, I'm going to the AA club, or whatever people do when they're not working. It's all kinds of stuff. Some people pray when they're not working. Some people pray when they are working. Some people pray and that's their job at work. Let me see here. The physical and the spiritual thing. I humbly ask God to remove my defects. And God can only do for me, like removing my defects, with what He can do through me. God can only do for me what He can do through me. So now, back to this thing about God being omnipotent and all-powerful and all that kind of stuff. So I'm asleep. I get up. I wake up, and I decide to pray to God. I do the 7-step prayer. I recite that. I say that. I ask for that. And it's in the order of something like, God, please help me to, or God, remove from me any defects of character that prevent me from helping Bob today. Fred. I need help still. Lots of help over here. Fred needs help. Okay, so you wake up and you pray to God, please remove any defects of character from me that would prevent me from helping Fred today. I say this prayer in faith, thank you, amen, and however you conclude your prayer. Now, that being done, you go about your day, punching the time clock, doing the thing, going drinking, going not drinking, going to AA, doing whatever, praying, like I just said. So, how do you know that prayer has been answered, or what is God doing for you that He has to do through you? So let's say you get half the day off unexpectedly for a good reason. The boss, the company or something goes, hey, we're all taking the rest of the week off. Why not? And you're free to do whatever you want. Just come back next Monday and get back to work. And so now you got a decision that you didn't think you might have to make that day. Guess what? I thought I was going to be at work, so I had nothing else planned. And then all of a sudden the boss says, we're taking the week off, and you go, hey, I got all this extra time today. What am I going to do with it? Well, you could help Fred, man. You could get over to Fred's house and talk to him, or you could give Fred a call and ask what he needs and this kind of thing to help me. And you don't want to do it. So you don't do it. You decide to go water skiing or something instead, or mountain climbing, whatever. And so God isn't going to be able to help Fred through your help that day. God's going to have to find a different way. And God isn't going to be channeled through you that day, at least in the area where Fred's concerned, or towards the direction of Fred. God might, this is going to get goofy, because then say you crash while you're water skiing and you break your leg, and then you blame Fred. Why not? Yeah, or you blame God, or all that kind of argument. which are all, excuse me, all those things are like valid points. So this entire program of AA, all the God stuff, I'm really going to have to go light on that because I can't give you my full opinion. I will not give you my full opinion on God. I believe there is a God. I believe in a particular God, and that's my power greater than myself, and the thing that can restore me to sanity. Okay, and I'm not going to name them yet. Excuse me. Where are we at for time here? That's 10 minutes. I'm just, it always tickles me in a good way that this reading for today, which is July 9th, I am an instrument. And here, look at any other instrument anywhere in any trade, any profession, any endeavor. Pretty much the final project or result of all work put forth is only going to be as good as the best instrument used. What I mean by that is like well, a couple things, I guess. I was smoking my tobacco pipe yesterday, and man, geez, that stuff will do a number to you, I guess, smoking. Say a craftsman and a regular guy or whatever, just a person or a machine, has all these tools to use, and he's going to make something, so they get to work on it. And say the machine just ends up breaking all the tools and just keeps plowing along trying to make the thing anyways, whatever this project is, and it gets done and it's just a mangled piece of junk basically, because all the instruments and tools were broken and dull and whatever. And then say this regular guy tries to make the same project with the same brand new fresh tools, and but he doesn't know how to use the tools very well, so he makes a project, and whether it's better or worse than the machine's effort really isn't the point here. So say it's a little bit better, it looks like something rather than absolute junk and a mangled mess, but it isn't as functional as it should be. And then the craftsman gets a hold of the tools, and they're all fresh and new and mint and sharp and clean and all that. Whereas all three instances, the machine, the workman, and the craftsman, the big guy, the most talented person, gets a hold of all the same machine tools. The machine doesn't know any better, it breaks something, it just keeps trying to use it because that's what it does. It follows orders, whatever. The workman, he doesn't know how to use the tools properly, so he ends up damaging them and wrecking them, and then the project doesn't come out well. Now the craftsman understands a lot more things than the workman, and it also has, he's a human craftsman with logic and reason and stuff, and understands things that this tool's dull, broken, and worn out. And I'm going to get a really poor quality finish out of this if I'm forced to use this tool. So he selects a better tool and gets the project done nicely. And it comes out nice. And it looks great. And it's functional. Yay, craftsman. So the tools, whoever was guiding the tools, okay, has a lot to do with this. The craftsman was somehow envisioning a working piece of project at the end of this endeavor and wants it to look nice for just more pleasantness, I guess, okay? The workman just wants to get through the job as quick as possible, and the machine doesn't have any feeling on any of this. It's just running a program. So I am an instrument. Say if I had a choice, this is another interesting thing. Then I'll probably just have to keep referring back to this video in the future, maybe. That if I am an instrument, like it says here, I am an instrument, and God can only do for me what He can do through me. And if we keep in mind this machine, the workman, and the craftsman, and the condition of the tools, and then the end result project quality amount or whatever, just I don't plan any of this stuff. This is just all coming to me. That's why there's these awkward pauses and lots of blank spaces in some of these readings. So give me a moment. Let me come at it from this angle. God selects an instrument. God has a plan. He's got all the blueprints for everything. Let's imagine this. And He looks at the quality and quantity of His workforce, be it machine, workman, or craftsman. And He decides to start with, like I just said, the machine, because the machine will just do it. No attitude, no need to stop for resting and blah, blah, blah. The workman is kind of grumpy too, but he'll do it for wages, for money, for whatever. So, God might pick him. God might decide right off the top. It might take a little longer, but the quality is going to be better if I select the craftsman to be my instrument. But a lot of times, craftsmen are very busy. They're already working on somebody else's stuff. Yeah, but this is God, right? So He can jump ahead of the line, whatever. Yeah, we can think that, but that's not the point either. It's that what I'm trying to get in here is the willingness to do anything, basically, and why, and the reason and logic why anybody gets off their butt to do anything ever. Why even get out of bed? God can only do for me what He can do through me. So I guess I'm trying to say, to wrap this up quickly, maybe, is that if we, the seventh step prayer, if we humbly ask to have our defects of character, like laziness, say, removed from us so that I may go and help Fred today, to help my fellow man, my fellow suffering alcoholic, do that. Remove this blockage from me that I may do this. And that all those hurdles and obstacles or hurdicles may already be removed, but we're still left with a stubborn factor, and that's like, am I going to do it or not? When you finally get, say you're going to drive your car over to Fred's, you got the keys in your hand and you're walking out your door trying to get to the car, and you decide instead I'm going to mow the lawn or whatever. It's that decision, that will, your willpower to get you into the car and going towards Fred's instead of the liquor store, say, or to an AA meeting. God still needs to work through that stuff. So how do we fix that? Now, this thing's going to cut me out before we get the answer, probably. Won't that be upsetting? Yes, it will. This is not intentional. So, remember back in step 3, I think we made a decision. Step 3, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. So that's the thing. Keep backing up the steps, looking back at the step previous to the one you're working on, and see if you did it sincerely and completely and to the best of your ability, and check up. Maybe you could do it better, more thoroughly today. Maybe you're more ready. We're entirely ready to have these defects removed, and then we humbly asked to have them removed. So I'll just stop there. Maybe I wrapped it up. I'll get back with you later. Thank you for coming by here. Goodbye.